What if the secret to instant mental clarity isn't buried in complex meditation techniques or expensive self-help courses, but hiding in plain sight in something as ordinary as your daily handbag? Right now, across Japan, millions of people are practicing micro-rituals so simple they seem almost trivial. Yet these tiny habits are quietly transforming stress into serenity, chaos into calm, and mental fog into crystal-clear focus. These aren't ancient mysteries passed down through generations. They're remarkably practical techniques that take mere minutes but create profound psychological shifts that ripple through every aspect of your daily experience. Before we explore these life-changing practices together, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Because if today's simple yet powerful techniques resonate with your soul, you definitely won't want to miss the weekly dose of mindful living strategies I share on this channel. And hey, if you discover even one practice that speaks to you, show some love with a like and drop a comment telling me which technique you're most excited to try. Your engagement helps these peaceful practices reach others who desperately need them.
The evening bag ritual. Across Japan, countless individuals embrace what might seem like an unremarkable evening routine, the complete emptying of their daily bags upon returning home. They methodically extract every single item: crumpled documents, candy wrappers, forgotten receipts, loose coins, and miscellaneous debris that accumulates throughout the day. Then, with thoughtful consideration, they return only the absolute essentials the following morning. This practice extends far beyond simple organization or obsessive perfectionism. It represents a deliberate pursuit of mental clarity and emotional balance. The philosophy is elegantly simple. A chaotic bag mirrors a chaotic mind. While this brief daily ritual creates precious psychological space for stillness and intentional living. It functions as a form of mental reset, masterfully disguised as a mundane 5-minute task. The beauty lies in its accessibility. No special equipment, no complex instructions, no significant time investment required. This deceptively simple practice cultivates what Buddhist practitioners might recognize as a gentle form of mindfulness. Rather than allowing possessions and mental clutter to accumulate until you feel completely overwhelmed, you're consistently engaging with the fundamental question, do I truly need this? This regular inquiry teaches you the art of gentle release on a habitual basis, developing self-discipline without creating internal pressure or guilt. Over time, this evening ritual establishes a natural rhythm that keeps your emotional burden manageable and your mental space clear. Your brain gradually stops fixating on tiny, invisible sources of disorder. Your daily choices become more intentional and deliberate, your thought patterns less chaotic and reactive. The psychological benefits extend far beyond the physical act itself. To implement this transformative practice in your own life, dedicate just 5 minutes each evening to thoroughly reviewing your bag's contents. Discard outdated receipts without hesitation, properly file important documents in their designated places, and consciously retain only items that genuinely add value to tomorrow's adventures. Many practitioners report that this simple evening ritual makes it significantly easier to fall asleep peacefully, maintain sharp focus throughout the day, and breathe more deeply during stressful moments. Sometimes the most direct path to mental tranquility begins with organizing what's tangibly in your hands, rather than wrestling endlessly with abstract thoughts in your head.
The art of mindful clothing care. Throughout Japan, the simple act of folding clothing transcends mere household maintenance. It frequently transforms into a quiet, deeply centering practice performed with genuine intention and reverence. It's remarkably common to observe someone folding their shirts, sweaters, and socks with fluid, deliberate movements, taking time to truly appreciate the unique texture, weight, and structure of each individual fabric. This practice embodies a philosophy of honoring your material possessions while encouraging you to consciously slow down in a culture that relentlessly moves at breakneck speed. The psychological reward is immediate and profound. Your restless mind naturally decelerates in harmony with your physical movements. This routine teaches the invaluable skill of presence through mindful movement. When you consciously transform everyday tasks like laundry folding into opportunities for mental reset and emotional regulation, you stop frantically racing through existence on autopilot. Your attention naturally narrows and focuses, your breathing spontaneously deepens and becomes more rhythmic, and suddenly, these modest household activities begin to feel genuinely fulfilling rather than burdensome. The practice evolves from being merely about eliminating physical disorder to receiving a deeper message. You are inherently worthy of inhabiting a tidy, tranquil environment. True inner peace, after all, often begins with how we choose to care for our immediate physical surroundings. If your closet feels perpetually overwhelming, or your laundry routine has become a significant source of stress and anxiety, consider adopting this gentle approach. Fold slowly, purposefully, and with authentic care and attention. Create a peaceful atmosphere by playing soft instrumental music or working in comfortable silence. Organize garments by color, fabric type, or season, whatever arrangement feels most natural and satisfying to your personal aesthetic. Even dedicating just 5 minutes to intentional, meditative folding can transform into a powerful form of mental cleansing and emotional detox. From this cultivated state of inner quiet and focus, you'll discover yourself better equipped and more resilient when facing whatever turbulence and challenges tomorrow inevitably delivers.
Creating sacred entryway spaces. In numerous Japanese households, the entryway, or genkan, remains meticulously clean, uncluttered, and thoughtfully maintained. Footwear is removed immediately and respectfully upon entry, and absolutely nothing unnecessary lingers by the entrance. This practice extends far beyond mere cultural courtesy or aesthetic preference. It intentionally creates a psychological boundary, a sacred transitional zone between the chaotic external world and your peaceful inner sanctuary. By consistently maintaining this area's cleanliness and simplicity, you're sending a clear, powerful signal to your subconscious mind. We have arrived somewhere genuinely safe and nurturing. It provides an immediate visual cue for tranquility and emotional regulation. A chaotic, cluttered entryway can unconsciously transport the day's stress and outside disorder directly into your living space, contaminating your home's peaceful energy. However, when this threshold remains clean, minimal, and intentionally maintained, the simple act of crossing your doorway feels like releasing a long-held breath after an exhausting, demanding day. It naturally invites a slower pace and more mindful presence, even if only for a brief, precious moment. You don't require an elaborate or expensive home, just a small, dedicated area where serenity consciously begins, and that cultivated peace naturally extends outward, positively influencing how you feel throughout every subsequent room and interaction. Try implementing this today. Completely clear your doorway of all unnecessary items. Remove excess footwear, coats, bags, mail, and miscellaneous clutter. Consider adding simple, meaningful touches: a clean mat, a basic wall hook, or soft, warm lighting. Transform the daily act of arriving home into a genuinely soothing ritual rather than another frantic blur in your busy schedule. You'll be genuinely amazed at how such a seemingly minor spatial adjustment can create a massive positive shift in your overall emotional atmosphere and daily stress levels.
The practice of mindful eating. There exists a beautiful concept in Japanese culture called hara hachibu, which translates to consuming food until you reach approximately 80% fullness. This philosophy isn't rooted in dietary restriction, calorie counting, or food anxiety. It's fundamentally about cultivating deep awareness and developing a healthy relationship with nourishment. This practice actively promotes consciousness and mindful attention during meals, helping your physical body and emotional state remain harmoniously aligned and balanced. Overeating frequently serves as emotional numbing or generates feelings of guilt and physical discomfort, while eating precisely the right amount leaves you feeling light, mentally alert, and genuinely energized. It represents the crucial distinction between seeking authentic comfort and engaging in mindless consumption. This gentle approach naturally develops self-regulation and emotional intelligence in a respectful, non-punitive manner. Through this practice, you gradually learn to pause mindfully, to genuinely notice and honor your body's subtle signals, and to stop eating when you feel satisfied rather than uncomfortably stuffed. It's not about obsessively counting calories, following rigid dietary rules, or creating food anxiety. It's about providing your body exactly what it requires while trusting its innate wisdom to clearly communicate when enough truly is enough. This simple pause between bites builds both self-discipline and emotional awareness with every single meal. Want to experiment with this transformative approach? Begin by serving smaller portions and eating at a deliberately slower pace. Chew each bite more thoroughly, engage in meaningful conversation, and check in with your internal hunger and satiety cues midway through your meal. Ask yourself honestly, do I feel genuinely satisfied and nourished, or am I simply tempted to continue eating out of habit or boredom? Over time, this mindful eating practice builds a profound sense of internal balance and body wisdom that extends far beyond mealtimes, positively influencing your approach to work, rest, relationships, and how you handle everyday stress and challenges. Kitchen minimalism and mental clarity. In many Japanese minimalist homes, you won't discover overflowing kitchen cabinets or dozens of mismatched, rarely used dishes cluttering every available surface. Instead, residents often maintain just a carefully curated selection of high-quality pieces they genuinely use and appreciate on a regular basis. This intentional choice isn't about deprivation, financial limitations, or aesthetic rigidity. It's about achieving mental clarity and emotional freedom through conscious simplification. Fewer dishes directly translates to less physical clutter, fewer daily decisions, reduced cleaning time, and a kitchen environment that feels spacious and breathing rather than cramped and suffocating. It's a seemingly small lifestyle choice that provides significant emotional breathing room and mental peace. Consider honestly how much psychological noise and low-level stress originates from excess possessions. Towering stacks of dirty dishes, overcrowded cabinets you're hesitant to open, mismatched items you don't even particularly like or use.
Thoughtfully reducing the quantity creates a natural, efficient rhythm. Use items mindfully, clean them promptly, store them properly, repeat the cycle. This streamlined approach is efficient, surprisingly satisfying, and remarkably grounding for your nervous system. Owning fewer possessions transforms routine maintenance from a burdensome chore into an opportunity for mindfulness and present moment awareness. Suddenly, even mundane tasks like washing dishes become less of a dreaded obligation and more of a meditative reset opportunity. If your kitchen consistently feels overwhelming and stressful, here's a practical challenge. Select your 2 favorite plates, 2 preferred bowls, and 1 complete set of utensils. Temporarily store everything else for 1 full week, and carefully observe how this simplification affects your daily stress levels and overall mood. The likelihood is excellent that you'll feel noticeably calmer, more in control, and less overwhelmed by kitchen maintenance. Kitchen minimalism doesn't merely clean your physical sink, it systematically clears your mental and emotional space, creating room for what truly matters in your daily life.
Transition rituals for emotional regulation. One particularly powerful practice observed throughout Japan involves immediately changing out of professional work attire upon arriving home, even when living completely alone. This might seem like an insignificant detail, but it represents a subtle yet remarkably powerful signal to your brain and nervous system that you've consciously entered a completely different phase of your day. The physical act of removing restrictive shoes, loosening a constricting tie, or changing out of formal clothing becomes a form of emotional decompression and psychological transition. This simple ritual clearly communicates to your nervous system, you are safe now. You have permission to relax completely. Remaining in work clothes unconsciously keeps your mind locked in performance mode, leaving you feeling perpetually tense, mentally distracted, and only partially present in your personal life. However, when you consciously shift into something comfortable, soft slippers, a cotton t-shirt, perhaps cozy loungewear, you're actively granting your body and mind explicit permission to release the day's accumulated tension and stress. This practice isn't about laziness, giving up, or lowering your standards. It's about implementing intentional emotional hygiene and self-care. You're making a conscious choice to prioritize rest and recovery rather than accidentally stumbling into relaxation by default or not at all. Try implementing this for 1 full week. Create a small but meaningful routine when you arrive home each day. Remove your shoes mindfully. Change into designated home clothes, and drink a full glass of water before tackling any other responsibilities or distractions. This deliberate pause, this conscious shift, can significantly soften the sharp edges of even your most stressful, demanding days. It represents a transition not merely of clothing, but entire mindset and emotional state.
The power of handwriting practice. While digital tools and devices dominate virtually every aspect of our modern existence, many throughout Japan continue to deeply value the quiet, contemplative ritual of writing by hand. Whether crafting a daily to-do list, composing a personal journal entry, or engaging in reflective writing, the physical act of putting pen to paper naturally slows your racing thoughts and creates space for genuine introspection. Unlike typing on devices, which encourages rapid speed and often leads to distraction and multitasking, handwriting inherently demands focused attention and present-moment awareness.
Your mind must remain fully present, processing one word, one complete thought, one meaningful moment at a time. There's something profoundly grounding and centering about witnessing your internal thoughts take tangible physical form on paper. Through this practice, you gradually begin recognizing recurring patterns in your emotions, catching unhelpful mental loops and negative thought spirals, and hearing your authentic inner voice with much greater clarity and wisdom. It's not merely about productivity, organization, or task completion. It's fundamentally about processing experiences, emotions, and thoughts in a healthy, constructive way. The beauty of this practice lies in its complete simplicity and accessibility. You don't need an expensive, leather-bound journal or special writing tools, just a basic pen, any piece of paper, and 5 minutes of quiet, uninterrupted time can create remarkable mental clarity and emotional insight. Try this simple technique. Every night before bed, write down 3 specific emotions you experienced throughout that day. Not tasks completed or goals achieved, but actual feelings and emotional responses. Alternatively, simply list whatever thoughts, worries, or ideas are currently occupying your mental space. You might discover that this brief writing practice grants your overactive brain explicit permission to stop its endless spinning and rumination. It functions as a healthy release valve, and over time, it can develop into one of your most powerful and reliable emotional reset tools.
Embracing empty space and mental breathing room. In many traditional Japanese homes, observant visitors will notice something initially unusual but ultimately profound: intentional empty spaces. A shelf completely clear of decorative objects, a wall deliberately left without artwork or photographs, a table holding just one carefully chosen object. These aren't accidental oversights or signs of incomplete decorating. They're completely intentional design choices rooted in deep wisdom about mental health and emotional well-being. In authentic Japanese minimalism, emptiness isn't truly empty or lacking. It represents crucial breathing room for both your physical environment and your psychological state. Emotionally and mentally, that clear space provides your overstimulated mind a precious opportunity to rest, reflect deeply, and reset completely from the day's accumulated stress and input. Western culture consistently encourages us to fill every available corner, both physically in our living spaces and mentally in our daily schedules and thought patterns. However, this constant input and stimulation inevitably leads to mental exhaustion, emotional overwhelm, and chronic stress. Intentionally leaving space clear and uncluttered allows you to genuinely feel and process what's happening internally rather than constantly reacting to external stimuli. This practice isn't about creating cold, sterile, or unwelcoming environments. It's about consciously respecting the profound value of silence, stillness, and spaciousness in our overstimulated world. A room with adequate breathing room feels like taking a deep, cleansing breath for your entire nervous system. You can experiment with this transformative concept today by clearing just one surface in your living space, perhaps a desk, bookshelf, or nightstand. Resist the immediate urge to fill that space with something else. Simply allow it to exist in its cleared state. Initially, the emptiness might feel strange, uncomfortable, or somehow wrong. But give this experiment time and patience. You may find yourself naturally returning to that clear space, seeking comfort, clarity, and genuine quietude.
It gradually becomes a gentle mirror, peacefully showing you what true peace and mental calm can actually look like in physical form.
Which of these transformative Japanese practices resonates most deeply with your current life situation? Drop a comment below and let our community know which technique you're planning to implement this week. I love reading about everyone's experiences with these mindful practices. If this video helped you discover new pathways to bring more genuine calm and intentionality into your daily routine, hit that like button to help other stressed out people find these life-changing practices too. And please, don't forget to share this content with someone in your life who could benefit from a little more peace and mindfulness in their routine. Sometimes the smallest, simplest changes create the most profound and lasting transformations. Remember, authentic simplicity isn't about achieving perfection or following rigid rules. It's fundamentally about living with clear intention and gentle self-compassion. Start with just one practice that speaks to you. Be patient and kind with yourself throughout the process, and watch in amazement as these small shifts create beautiful ripples of calm throughout your entire life experience.